Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
Yemobibia akwaba eba PENDREAM TV. Malik Basintale ede ensemble atuja a watches for the past 8 years. We have been under hardship. Na enema modern. Enyade ana enema ekoyie kra na President-elect John Dramani Mahama wabaidie obelidie to the promised land. Ode enhyehyeye ene nema ebegu akwan na enema atumi akoyie. Ensemble kawe ho na Malik Basintale ede atudwa. Kame ho na yentie ne nsem no enkyeremu. Ansa na be kono subscribe to channel no. De ade ntre comment section. Like na share dwumadi ni ma afoforo ensa enkami. Yentie eye ensem a Malik Basintale ede atudwa.
The Basintale boy, how are you? It's been a while.
Absolutely. We've been moving around trying to stop impunity. We've been moving around trying to ensure that the looters, the people who had mismanaged our economy, were booted out of office. We're convincing the Ghanaian people, we're selling our policies to them, we're exhibiting our manifesto to them. We made so many promises. We made so many assurances. We had so many contracts with the Ghanaian people. And it's incumbent on us to exhibit that in a very solemn way so the NDC could stay in power forever. I believe strongly that John Mahama has come to rescue this country. I believe strongly that all our hopes that were shattered will begin to be revived. Go to town and check our streets. People are out there demonstrating, exhibiting their joy that a new dawn has arrived and that a new leader has come. And that leader is going to get us to the promised land. Look, for 8 years, Roland, we have suffered under excruciating poverty. 8 years we've been under hardships. 8 years, over 800,000 people have gone down the poverty lane. 8 years, over 1.8 million Ghanaian youth have stayed unemployed. 8 years, people have gone to work without hope. 8 years, inflation had skyrocketed to 54%. 8 years, all the government knew how to do was to borrow out of the roof. And Baumia would go out there, borrow recklessly to the extent that we are indebted to a tune of about 780 billion. All the revenues we had incurred, we had accrued in this economy. What were we using it for? Even WAEC, Baumia, you couldn't pay them. And then you come and stand before us and you say, Sisi Fianeme or Dominicane Bemau. And you think Ghanaians were going to vote for Dominicane Bemau. If you don't have money, how do you give Odoka? You need to work, make money, and then you can set the barricades and the barriers right. And so, Roland, I think that this election was a stop to impunity. This election was a stop to nepotism. This election was a stop to corruption. This election was a stop to, ineptitude. This election was a stop to family and friends. This election was a stop to, visionlessness and some government in power that clearly did not have direction and did not know what they were doing. This election was a total stop to incompetence, and is incumbent on us as a government to take us out of the woods and get us to the promised lands. I listened to, briefly, before I land, I listened to my very big brother, make a point that, look, politicians build here, build there, build here, and all of that. Look, the truth of the matter is that Ghanaians are not worried if you as a politician even buy 5,000 cars. Ghanaians are worried if you drive 5,000 cars and they stay in poverty. If Ghanaians are satisfied, if you make Ghanaians appreciate the work you are doing, you can even drive a private jet. Nobody cares. But if a Ghanaian youth goes to school for 22 years, the person graduates and they do not get a job, and you waste 14,000 pounds an hour flying a private jet, every Ghanaian youth is going to fight against it. But if you make people work, people have good salaries, people make mama and dada proud, nurses are posted, teachers are posted, I complete the university and I can get a job under a 24-hour economy. If you want, go and buy a jet ski. If you want to buy a ship, Ghanaians will say, you have done for us, you can do for yourself. But if you keep doing for yourself and you don't do for us, we'll rise against you.
Then that's where the concern.
Absolutely.
Well, so after all this talk, now you've been elected into public office. So that's the party.
That's right.
Going to form the government.
That's right. And
already over the last 2 days, which subsequently led to the intervention of the former president.
That's right.
And then President-elect John Dramani Mahama.
We are not going to retrieve stolen cash by using same method as quick credits. Operation Return All the Loot is not some savings and loans company where we go into the night throwing stones at your zinc to pay, all the monies you have stolen. If people care to know, a lot of the monies that have been stolen by this current government have been transformed into digital money. If they don't know, people do no longer steal cash and stock it in the house. They steal the money and they save it in safe havens. People have stored it in cryptocurrencies and what have you. And so if you batch into somebody's office or you batch into somebody's house, how do you retrieve monies that have been stolen and put on cryptocurrency? It's not possible.
What's your point?
So money itself does not like noise. They say sikam pedede. We are going to use silent means to retrieve the cash. This morning I had a call that people were going to the Tema port. And so that's why I was late. I had to ride my bike to see them. I got there and none of them is an NDC person. None. There are people under this current administration who are angry with their leaders. There are young men under this administration who are angry with their leaders. And they've been writing on Facebook that our leaders were spending the monies and this defeat serves us right and all of that. Many of such people have decided to confront their leaders and also get their little monies back before they leave office. And when I got there, not a single person. On TV3's website, you posted a video of Owutu Senya West, where the young men, the NDC men, intercepted. They went and arrested people who were looting from an Agenda 111 project. All the people who were arrested were MPP. Yet people are attributing all the budgets and all of that to the NDC. It's not true. The NDC guys have decided to start arresting some of the people who are batching into offices and all of that. And clearly, what happened in Owutu Senya West demonstrates to all of us
it's not
that a lot of people...
It's not the duty of NDC young people to go arresting people just because those people decide to barge into... possibly enter
we would do that.
Into government warehouse, etc.
We would do that because
that should not be
the
done,
Owutu Senya West case, if you listen to the guy, he said he had informed the police commander of the people. They can play the video and said the police commander should go and arrest them. And the commander told him that they should go and initiate a citizen arrest. And so they went there and they arrested the people. Because, they are tarnishing the image of the NDC. Your young men get up there and then they go to storm an office and they attack people and all of that. And people think they are NDC young guys. These are MPP persons who are angry with their leaders and have decided to attack their own leaders. What happened in the Owutu Senya West? Your journalists were there. They videoed everything. Our people decided to stop them and prove to the entire country that no NDC young man has gone out there to attack anybody. The MPP guys are those attacking their leaders because they feel their leaders had done chop, their leaders had abandoned them, and they had been suffering for 8 years. It is not easy to get 1.6 million votes in an election. It means that many MPP persons who were fed up with their own government voted for us. You know that. Floating voters, the NDC together with some MPP people. And so many MPP guys are angry with their own leaders. And Roland, I tell you on record,
Malik, I've asked you the question. And the question is, why should we have the NDC youth being the ones to go and stop so-called MPP youth, if that is the case, to stop them from looting or perhaps even forcibly entering to take, whether it's fertilizer? Because there was an incident in Ho.
That's right.
NDC young people and then some of the leaders said they were stopping
the MPP guys from looting,
from taking fertilizer, etc.
Absolutely.
I'm saying, why don't you go report to the police?
Because it is not wrong in this country to initiate a citizen arrest. If I'm sitting in my house and a thief comes to steal your motorbike, I cannot sit down and say he should take the motorbike away, so I report. If I can arrest him in a lawful manner, I will do so. And the reason why a lot of our guys have decided to arrest the MPP guys who are now looting and batching into offices and pretending to be NDC guys is because we want to set the record straight that these are not NDC guys. Those batching into offices, those attacking public officials are MPP guys who are peeved and aggrieved with their own leadership. And so President Mahama has called for calm. He's asked all NDC guys, if you have some few who are part of the NDC people, the MPP guys, to drop their weapons. If they are angry with their leadership, settle your issues at your party office. Don't settle your issues at public institutions where you let your boys go there and attack people and all of that. Look, we saw what happened in 2017. This same MPP tax who are attacking officers. Even went into a courtroom, dragged out a pregnant judge, and beat her in Kumasi Road. I remember. These same MPP guys barged into public offices. John Dumelo's Land Cruiser was vandalized. Now we have come into office, and you think you can still continue attacking public offices. So people think it's the NDC. We will stop it, and we have reported.
Malik, you haven't come into office yet. The NDC administration
we've won an election.
Will be inaugurated on the 7th.
Yes, but we've won an election.
Before a parliament.
We've won an election, and will not allow anyone to tarnish the image of the NDC like these same guys did in 2017 by attacking public officials. So we've reported to the police, and we've told them that they should arrest the MPP guys who are ransacking offices and who are batching into offices and tarnishing the image of the NDC. They should arrest them, because the Operation Return All the Loot is going to be a very silent, creepy method of retrieving the stolen monies. For example, Baumia, 10,000 bags of rice saga at the port. Lily Rice, where 10,000 bags of rice were stolen by somebody from his office. The case is in court. As it stands now, if you go to Baumia's house, you won't get a single bag of that Lily Rice. A lot of it has been shared. A lot of it has been eaten. So if you barge into Baumia's house, are you going to remove the Lily Rice from his stomach? So in order to retrieve that 10,000 bags of stolen rice by Baumia in his office, you need to use appropriate means and let them cough the money out. PDS scandal, where Baumia presented fraudulent documents. If you barge into Baumia's house, are you going to retrieve those documents from his house because you've barged into his house? But now Baumia has even hidden all those documents. So such person, you put him in the witness box and will find appropriate means of retrieving them. A merry deal. When Baumia and Akufo-Addo sat down to, balloon the figure to 1.3 billion. If you barge into Baumia's house, how are you going to retrieve 1.3 billion? It was stopped, but he needs to stand trial for it. So barging into people's houses and offices will not retrieve stolen cash. There are measures we are going to take, and those measures are going to bring back all the monies. And we have said that Mr. Akufo-Addo, Baumia, together with all the corrupt appointees, my brother Chinia in Sisala East, who lost his seat. I sat here and I told you how they had stolen state lands. Chinia, absolutely. If you barge into his house, how are you going to retrieve the state lands?
No, we'll talk about that.
So it's not possible, you get it. So there are appropriate measures we're going to use to retrieve all the stolen cash, and not this ransom.
Malik Basintale, during the run-up to the election, you were on motorbikes, you were crisscrossing the country on campaign platforms, etc. What did the young people that you met on those campaign platforms tell you were their concerns that needed to be immediately tackled by the president-elect's government, the NDC administration that's coming in?
One, a lot of the young people said they needed jobs. Two, the young people said they needed better living conditions. Three, a lot of the young people said they needed security and a safe environment to operate. And four, a lot of the young people said all they wanted was a brighter future. I visited nursing trainees, and all they said was that they see their seniors who had completed more than 4 years ago still seated at home. And so even they who are completing in about 2 months' time, they don't know what the future holds for them. Are they coming to add on to the backlog of 4 years and wait for the 4-year group to be posted before they are posted, or are they going to be posted immediately? And so all those nursing trainees asked to be posted when they complete from school. The teachers I met, our teacher trainees, also said they needed to be posted when they complete from school. University students I met said they have been in school for 22 years, ever since they were born. They don't want to complete and come and sit in their house. They want to complete and get jobs.
Or the ensemble to our Casafa, Mahama 24-hour economy. No. Now, what I say, a idea, a babeboa, amani parodona, aya, a juma aye. A besa magana, yasitana, and so asa, a kui, then TSN or Chenensem.
And so President Mahama said, I will meet you halfway. I'll provide a 24-hour economy to industries so they would operate at 24 hours and then recruit more people. And it means that a 24-hour economy is the future. And you people have been running at shift. This one comes in the morning.
But we've been doing that since time immemorial.
Absolutely. No, but
that's been our routine.
You are working now full 24 hours. Where even
we've always worked 24 hours. Yes. Only that we're now doing the Ghana Decides election.
Hold on. Yesterday at 11, 12 p.m. there was a panel in the studio, right?
Yeah, but that's not going to continue.
The was here.
True. But it's for the election.
So absolutely.
It's a special coverage.
But you are going to, other companies are going to go into full 24 hours now, right? I'm only saying this for you to understand that a 24-hour economy is possible. And it has been possible in the last 4 days at TV3. Whether you decide to continue it or you don't continue it, but it has been made possible in TV3. It's another point. And so we think that the 24-hour economy is the new future, and Ghanaian youth are going to get jobs and people are going to get employed. In our campaign, we had the first 120-day manifesto. If you remember, President Mahama had put across many promises and said he was going to achieve some within 120 days. I am pleading on the Ghanaian people. In order for us to start marking President Mahama, let's start with his 120-day social contract. President Mahama said, I would appoint the leanest government. When appointments start, if President Mahama should appoint 61 ministers, then you can come at him. He said, I will do 60 ministers. That will be the first check. Number two, President Mahama says within 2 weeks, 14 days, I'll be done with appointments of my cabinet. Take your pen and paper, check it. President Mahama says within 120 days, I'll scrap the Burton tax, I'll scrap e-levy, I'll scrap the emission levy, and many other, unnecessary taxes. Once we do that, check it. And so there are many promises we are done within 120 days that I think the Ghanaian people should take their papers and they should start checking. Once we do it, it means President Mahama is truthful. Once we do it, he's truthful, and that's the future of this country.
Indeed, on the campaign platform, you on your motorbike, even in the rains, was a sight to behold. It looks like the issue of the betting tax and then the e-levy are very dear to the heart of young people, especially those who are investing in cryptos, those who tend to do a lot of work electronically, right, etc. Why should that be an immediate assignment within the 120 days?
I mean, because...
And how did that resonate with the feedback you got on the campaign platforms?
It's important we do that within 120 days because it was a matter of high interest to the Ghanaian youth. We listened to them. Our manifesto was a people's manifesto. We didn't sit in a room or a kitchen to draft our manifesto. You remember that some of the promises Baumia made did not resonate with the Ghanaian youth. Said, we'll give you iPhone, you pay 1 cedi, 2 cedi, 1 cedi, 2 cedi. The Ghanaian youth said that was not what we wanted. And so we listened to the Ghanaian people and we understood what they wanted. The Ghanaian people said, clear the 10% bet tax. It is unnecessary. We said, we'll do it for you. The Ghanaian people said, COVID levy. We are out of COVID. Why is the levy still on our cost build-up? We said, we'll do it for you. The Ghanaian people said, take away the emission levy. We said, we'll do it for you. And so we think that issues that are of high interest and issues the Ghanaian people had asked us to do, of which we agreed we're going to do, ought to be followed and ought to be complied with. And that is what builds a very good, trustworthy economy. And that's what makes the Ghanaian people have full confidence in you. If you say one thing and you do another, you break your government. If you say it and you do it, the Ghanaian people appreciate what you've done. Because, we're going to run this country with a manifesto. And everything we're going to be reading, our budget statements, are going to come from promises and assurances we made from our manifesto. So we have the Jumapa. President Mahama had stated that within 120 days, it will reflect in our first budget. That makes sense to the Ghanaian people. And Ghanaians are going to mark us based on our manifesto promises. Along the line, there could be new things that we'll be confronted with that we need to, address, even though it may not be in our manifesto. Those are excesses. Those are things we could tackle. But on a straight road, we should go with our manifesto and we should do as it says. I believe that corrupt money could be used to do a lot for this country. $58 million was used to sink a hole. $58 million could have provided a school for people in Salganov. It could have completed the E-block in Salganov. It could have provided a clinic for the people in Boko. It could have provided a hospital for the people in the Savannah region. That's so much of money to be used just to sink a hole. That has become the world's most expensive hole. An architect who just drew the plan, of course, that shouldn't have even taken more than 10 million. Was paid 125 million within 1 week after completion. Yet, our renal unit needed only 2 million. The government said they didn't have money. We lost more than 5 people as a result of that. Old men who had lived responsible lives, stored their monies in bonds, and wanted to enjoy in retirement. Their monies were restructured. The CEO of the Karma Group said he had become an irresponsible man, all because he couldn't get access to his pensions. Yet, huge sums of monies have gone down the drains in corruption. £14,000 an hour. was used to fly a private jet around in this country. Our president was bathing and whining and dining in the sky when people were suffering, people were struggling. The National Cathedral, same National Cathedral, that is still a hole, has a CEO that is being paid a gross salary of 28,000 Ghana cedis every month. It has a board that is being paid 22,000 Ghana cedis every month. A hole. CEO of Cater Port. The Cater Port is just a signboard that Mr. Akufo-Addo has appointed a CEO who takes a salary every month. The Bank of Ghana wasted over 77 billion, just printed, without recourse to law, without taking it to parliament, and with so many breaches. At the end of the day, that money was recklessly spent in the economy. You know what it did for? You know what it did against with the Ghanaian people? It caused hyperinflation in this country because the top level had so much money. There was so much money in the system, but the people of the middle class and the lower level did not have access to that money. So the inflation was hitting our heads. With our mega salary, we couldn't buy anything again. And so, Roland, corruption is a canker. And all Ghanaian people stand against corruption, no matter how it looks like. And I felt that, look, of all the works we have done, if we don't fight corruption, we'll move forward and move backwards. And so, we cannot also let all the monies that have been stolen go down the drains. If that happens, every government will come, steal money, go out of office. The next government will come, steal money, go out of office. If we don't institute accountability, where people stand accountable for all the monies they have stolen, future governments will come, spend the monies, and they will leave office.
You seem to be very passionate about it.
I'm very passionate because I know that if we retrieve $58 million that was used to sink a hole, we'll be able to build schools, we'll be able to build hospitals, we'll be able to build roads, and we'll be able to create jobs for the Ghanaian youth. I'm very passionate because I know that if we're able to retrieve all the stolen and earned salaries that we paid, all the cash, the monies, including state lands and properties, if we're able to retrieve all that, we'll be able to do a lot for the people of this country. Government lands have been shared like granules. Today, I know a woman, look, and this is a very sad story. A woman was living in a government bungalow in Tamale. She works in a government institution. One day she came back from work and they had poured a trip of sand on her yard. And she said, what is happening here? Then somebody appears and says, the land belongs to me together with your house. So you need to leave the house within the next 1 week because I want to bring the house down and build my building. A woman in Tamale staying in a government bungalow. That bungalow was sold together with the land. Why will you do this to your fellow human being? Why will you do this to a government official who is living in a government bungalow? All because you are quick to share things. Just 3 days ago, when the government lost the election, they decided to start auctioning vehicles. I have a whole list of government vehicles that have been quickly auctioned to people.
Already?
Already. I have a list on my phone. They've been valued. They've been auctioned, a Toyota Prado, to more than 50 vehicles. Quickly auctioned to family and friends. They'll be retrieved. Because you cannot quickly auction people's cars to people and just allow it go down the drains. Look, in this country, today you import goods, and even before it hits them rich, they are already on your neck because they want to seize your goods and auction it to their own people. Why do you do this to Ghanaians? Why do you do this to innocent importers who bring their commodities into this country and want to sell and make a living? And so, this government has been wicked to the Ghanaian people, no matter how you look at it. They have stolen, they have mismanaged the economy, they've led us into a ditch, and they still have the effrontery to still speak and tease us in our faces. And then you come before us again and you come to joke with us and think, Ghanaians, we're going to forgive you for all the things you were doing. And so, Roland, Operation Return All the Loot, I'm passionate about it. I feel people must be held accountable, and not just persons from the MPP, but even persons from the NDC who decide to misappropriate funds. If President Mahama appoints you, and let me sound that caution, and you come into office and you loot, we will bring you out of your office and hold you accountable. We will let the laws deal with you. President Mahama has said it, and we'll rehash it. This is not a man who is going to tolerate a single iota of corruption under his government. President Mahama will never be called the mother serpent of corruption. He's going to fight corruption, he's going to face it head on, and he's demonstrated that before, and he will repeat it. If you know you are coming to work under President Mahama's administration, and the intention is to come and loot, create loot and share, then please, you better wait That administration has passed. It's about leaving office. You better wait for maybe after 50 years, when some of President Mahama and the NDC government, maybe we are tired of governance, then you can come and start looting. But if you think you can come and loot under President Mahama's administration, then forget it. Because if you joke, Oral will deal with you like it's going to deal with the MPP appointees. It will deal with you. And yours will be worse, because we need to use you to set an example to the Ghanaian people that John Mahama is coming to develop the country, John Mahama is coming to progress the economy, John Mahama is coming to transform Ghana, and John Mahama is the man going to take us to the promised land, because he's the chosen one by the Most High God.
You seem to have put a lot of responsibility on yourself.
Yes.
Okay. It also means that you know the internet never forgets.
That's right.
Okay. So if there should be a scandal on you in government, what do you think will happen?
Oral should take its course. If there should be any scandal on me in government, Oral should take its course. I'm not above the law. If anyone should try, then I mean, if you are not investigated, you cannot be vindicated. President Mahama for 4 years, President Mahama for 8 years, out of office, was standing trial. This government took him into the witness box. They tried him for a very wasteful Airbus scandal, tried him for this, tried him for that. At a point I said, sir, you can't allow these people to be misusing you carelessly. He said, no, I need to stand trial. I need to prove to the Ghanaian people that I'm innocent. I need to prove to them that I, John Dramani Mahama, I have never been corrupt and I'll never be corrupt. He was vindicated. At the end of the day, all crimes that were leveled against him, he was vindicated. President Mahama became a hero and was celebrated in this country. And so if anybody should come out from anywhere to say, Malik Basintale is corrupt, Malik is this, and they say I should stand trial, I would come and stand trial. If you investigate me and I'm vindicated, fine, because I know in my heart that I'll be clean, and I know John Mahama's administration would be pure and clean, because we are coming to work, we are coming to do what we promised, we are coming to take us to a next level, and we are coming to work for the youth of this country. And so, Roland, even you, if tomorrow they say you are corrupt, you will stand trial, you know that. If they say your cameramen are corrupt, you will stand trial. You agree that if they say you are corrupt, Oral should take his course on you too. Do you agree?
Of course.
Absolutely. So we are on the same page.
You seem to have had a knack during the campaign to have endeared yourself to young people. And that also reflected in the following you got. So I witnessed a certain pattern where the top or some MPs or some constituencies, the campaign was a bit weak. You went there for reinforcement.
That's right.
Why did you seem to have targeted Chinia?
Chinia was not a target. It was not a direct target.
I'm asking this because you even, apart from having a face-off with him on television,
that's right,
I think 2 or 3 times right here in Accra,
yes,
you even traced him to his constituency to go and campaign for the NDC candidate.
That's right.
Subsequently, he lost his seat.
That's right.
That's why I'm asking, why is that you seem to have targeted Chinia?
He wasn't a direct target. Corruption was my target, not Chinia. And so if Chinia was shredded in corruption, then he also became a target. Anyone who had done something corrupt was a first target, because we needed to sanitize the system. So Pius Majide, in the Austria saga, I went to his place twice. And I told the people, he was now promising to even take people to US. You, Austria saga, we haven't finished dealing with you. You are now promising to take people to US. And you think such people should be in parliament. So we needed to go there, boot him out. Chinia, government lands in your own hometown. You have bought it, you are putting up a filling station, bought another government land, you are putting up a radio station. And so if President Mahama today wants to build a hospital, it means that we need to go and buy a private land. Do you know that? Because Chinia has taken all the government lands there. So we needed to go there to boot him out. Then we retrieve all the lands. And so he wasn't a target for me, even though he made so many comments. He said, President Mahama and myself and everybody could come there, he would defeat all of us. I said, President Mahama did not need to come there.
How did you engineer Operation Boot Out Chinia in the campaign?
Oh, the people knew the crimes he had committed. The people knew that for 8 years he was smuggling fertilizer. And they knew that he was smuggling it on the back of donkeys. And the people said, we have suffered. 4 months to election, because Ibrahim Traoré had put a ban to the importation of fertilizer into his country, they now decided to bring the fertilizer back and started sharing it to farmers. And the farmers asked him, for 8 years, you haven't given us fertilizer. 4 months to election, you are bringing fertilizer thinking that we're going to vote for you. Oh, so we'll vote against you. I went to his community and his school in one of his major towns needed only 50 chairs, 50 desks, 50. The community is called Chalu. You can call them and ask them, Chalu. 50 desks.
Chalu community.
Chalu community. They needed 50 desks. Chinya couldn't provide for them as an MP. When I got there, the people told me, I just did an appeal for fun. Called few people and said, I beg you, help the people of Chalu. There and then, we provided 50 desks to the people of Chalu. I said on live TV, my integrity on the line. And so it was so sad that you come to Accra, you see him on TV, President Mahama has what this, he has done this, shouting, and you can't provide 50 desks to your people in Chalu, and you think you should still be an MP. You know, they work like that. And so, Roland, I went to many communities where I felt that we needed to win the seats. In other communities where we had MPs, I just needed to go there. I mean, we needed to give them reassurance that the MPs were good. And many people said...
Because I was just about to talk about Sojaman.
Absolutely.
You went there for reinforcement.
I went to Sojaman because I needed to let the people understand why Mr. Thomas Ampem was the best for them and why they couldn't sell their color TV for black and white. And when I got there, the people themselves told me that the man goes around, Pius goes around promising visas. Goes around, will take you to America, take you to this. The people said their aim is not to go to America. Their aim is to get jobs and work in their country. Who does not want to be in his motherland? I've had many calls of people in America telling me, Malik, now President Mahama has come, we'll come back home and work. Now Ghana is a safe place to work. Everybody wants to work in his motherland. It's because times are hard and things are not well. That's why people always want to flee the country. And so if your major campaign promise is I'll take you to America, meanwhile, you are the CEO of YE, the highest employment agency of the land, and you cannot employ your people, and you are promising to take them to US, and you think people will just buy into such weak promises. And so it wasn't because Malik went there, it's because the people are discerning, and the people knew what was right, and they knew who they wanted to give power to, and they retained the very venerable, intelligent, highly competent, Honorable Thomas Ampem. They retained him, and Sisala is voted for a strong man, Mohamed Bataglia, who they believe is going to transform the fortunes of the economy, together with all other constituencies. You see the tsunami that happened. They voted against MPs, people who talk recklessly. You see, we've gone beyond a certain level of politics. With the greatest of respect to Mr. K.T. Hammond, I watched him so many times on platforms, speaking to his people, and joking with people who are struggling. The people ask you what you've done for them, you insult this person. You see, Ghanaians, we've gone beyond some level of politics. The youth of this country are not interested in jokes. So they want jobs. They want better future, brighter futures. Everybody wants to live good. We are discerning. Look, Eslewusu, people shouting, pomposity, the arrogance was too much. She's down, flat. My very good friend in Japan Mesa, talking as if the world belongs to them. To some level of, please. Today you are down, flat. The whole western region was a tsunami. Upper East cleared all the seats. Upper West, 11-11. Many big people who we never thought were going to lose their seats. Ano Dompre and Sawama Doajere talks as if he was one of the people who said, we'll hand over power. He said, don't hand over power today, don't hand over power tomorrow. They swear everything. Look, when I watched some of the MPP guys, and you see, Roland, let me just add this. We are discussing post-election, but let's address some of the pre-election issues. I watched some MPP guys have the effrontery to say, if NDC wins, I'll burn myself.
That's Benjamin Jawab.
Oh my goodness.
You know him, right?
I know him. I saw a young man. I'm a young man. But you don't put their testicles on the line. Somebody said if NDC wins, we should castrate them. I saw a pastor who said if NDC wins, burn my church. Hey, power that belongs to Ghanaian people, you are talking as if the power is in your hands.
What?
Power that belongs to the Ghanaian people, you are talking as if it's in your hands. Hey, we should burn your church. So today, if NDC guys should go to the church and burn it down, people will say NDC is on rampage. But he said it. It's a pronouncement he made.
Okay, so we'll introduce you to the video of the incident that happened in Utu Senya.
That's right.
Is it Utu Senya East or West?
Utu Senya West.
West, okay.
Yesterday, we were having a meeting with the police commander, and somebody called me from Small London, where the Agenda 111 is being built. He said, there are 2 cars parking the iron rods from the site. So right there, I told the commander, they said they are parking the iron rods out of the site. So what can we do? The commander told me, then let's get them arrested. I was like, how? You are the commander, you are telling me you should get them arrested. How can I do such thing? So later I sent somebody to go and check. When they said the people had already gone. Okay. Just this evening, somebody called me that Charlie, there's another truck parking materials from the site, truck, iron rod. I said, no, we should make sure they bring them to the police station. So they brought them to the police station. You see, that is the main reason why we went to lock the assembly stores last Sunday. Because we have 1,000 bags of fertilizers in that store. And if care is not taken, these people will steal them. Because I have videos of some of the MPP constituency executives looting those fertilizers. And then some of your media guys are misreporting, telling us we have gone to lock assembly office and all that. It's not true. We are doing this to protect the interests of the constituency. We are not doing this for NDC. We are not doing this for Mahama or Gisela. We are doing this for Mother Ghana.
So these people you've arrested today, have they admitted to the fact that they were actually stealing the material?
No, we're trying to question them as to who sent them. They are not ready to tell who sent them. Okay. Yeah, so they said they have called the contractor to come. So we are here waiting for the contractor to come to see whether it is the contractor who asked them to come and pack our taxpayers, things bought with our taxpayers' money. I also called the police commander, and he said it is not right for the contractor to send the items from here to Tema. And you see, when they were selling this, and they were attributing them to NDC.
X.
But Malik, this is the issue. And the question I asked was, why do we have young people of the NDC going there?
So
in this instant case?
So clearly, this is a clear demonstration that a lot of the thugs who are storming officers and attacking officers are MPP persons. This is a clear example. The guy speaking is the communication officer of the NDC in the Utu Sanya West. He's called Cassius. He's the communication officer of the NDC. And he says that when they saw people, stealing and looting from the Agenda 111, they decided to go to the police commander. And the commander asked them to go and arrest the boys. And he said, we are not security men. And the commander sat there. But being a patriotic citizen, he thought that we ought to initiate a civilian arrest. And that was how come he went there to arrest them. Yet, you had MPP persons on social media say it was NDC tax and all of that. How can an NDC communication officer go and arrest NDC tax again? How is that possible? And so, we are telling the Ghanaian people that the MPP is still on rampage. They have decided to initiate last-minute tactics to just loot finally from the state before leaving office. We know the kicks of a dying horse are usually hard, and that is what they are exhibiting now. But the security agencies, the police, everybody, President Mahama has asked that they stop everybody storming or rampaging any office. A lot of them are MPP boys, including those this morning I went to trace at the Tema Port.
Yeah, the Kasai ABC ha. Subscribe to channel no. The wajen chiro comment section ho. Like na share jumadi no ma afoforo ensa enkabi.
Dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases. PENDREAM TV.